Today's video, we're going to go over a popular question that I get a lot on what tactics can a shorter fighter use to be effective against a taller fighter. So we got two good examples, two good tactics, and we got some video footage on the two tactics. The first one is Sugar Ray Robinson and Carmen Basilio when they fought. Carmen Basilio was the shorter fighter. What Carmen Basilio would do that was very effective against Sugar Ray Robinson was he would throw a jab that was from an upward angle. He would throw an up jab. The way he would throw that jab, like the reason it was so effective against Robinson, who was the taller fighter, was that, you know, when you throw a traditional turnover, just turnover, straight over jab, a guy can slip both ways and counter that jab. So if I throw a straight jab, he could slip that way and throw the right hand over the top, come with the cross, or he could slip to the inside and throw a hook off that jab. But the way Carmen Basilio used that jab is that he would take an angle, he would dip a little bit to the inside, and he would shuffle. The trajectory of that punch was in an upward manner, and he would throw it. Sometimes he would throw it to the chest, which was a good tactic as well. But he would throw that jab from this angle here. He would shoot it up like this. And what would happen there is Robinson would do a number of things. How he would react to that would be, one, he would raise up. When he would raise up, that would give Carmen Basilio the opportunity to be down low and be able to get on the inside of Robinson. Because he would be down lower and he would go here and he'd shoot it up. When Robinson would raise up, then he was able to get on the inside. The other thing that he would do that was effective when he would throw that up jab is if Robinson when he would angle himself this way and throw the up jab, Robinson would dip over to his left. And when he would dip over to his left, Carmen Basilio was able to land the right hand. So the way he would do that is he would angle himself and shoot it up like that. Robinson would kind of dip over to the right, over to his right, Robinson's left, and Robinson would be able to land the right hand. If Robinson wouldn't move or raise up, what he would do a lot of times when he would throw that jab, he would throw it here, and he would just throw a hook right off of it. So he'd throw an up jab and a hook off of it. There was three things that he was doing off of that. And then the fourth thing that he did a lot of times with that jab it would make it very hard for Sugar Ray Robinson to counter, because he was throwing that angle of that jab, and when he would throw that jab from that angle, he would have shoulder protection. And he would raise Robinson up. So when he's raising Robinson up, Robinson can't throw a right hand with any leverage because he's raising his legs, he's raising his body up. So he wasn't able to sit normally, like how he could just step back or slip a punch and come over the top of a regular jab. When he would raise up like that, he would have his body up and he didn't have his legs under him, so he could punch so he could have leverage on the punch. So that was a very effective way that he was able to cut the distance on Robinson. So that was, like I said, two ways he would set up punches, and the other ways that he would defend himself with his shoulder so Robinson couldn't counter over the top, plus he would raise Robinson up.
The fight, although just a little bit slower, and Robinson watching like a hawk, always looking for that split-second opening, eager to uncork his... Basilio weaving, crouching, always aggressive. He's loaded with confidence after that last round.
That was a very effective way that he would be able to get on the inside, cut distance, and set up punches against Robinson. So, you know, in your training, you can practice that up jab on the bag, on the pads, you know, on the double end bag. It's a very effective jab against a taller opponent if you learn how to perfect it. And the up jab is just one type of jab. There's many types of jabs. And in our instructional videos, we're going to go into depth on the different types of jabs and how you can use them and be effective with them. Another very effective tactic a shorter fighter can use against a taller fighter is what Joe Frazier used to do. He used to bob, he used to bend at the waist, he used to duck, he used to bow, and then he used to weave off of it. And also I had Monty Mezzaclay, who I trained, who we picked up a lot of things from Joe Frazier. Monty was #1 in the world at featherweight at one time, and he ended up being winning the IBA super lightweight world title at one time. And we really watched a lot of Frazier and what Frazier used to do. And like I said, Monty did it very effective. When Monty fought Eric Aiken on ESPN, the former IBF featherweight champion, he put on a clinic with how you bob and how you duck and weave and bob and weave and bow like Frazier. I mean, he just put on a clinic that night. That's a great fight to watch for any smaller fighter that's trying to perfect and be effective with the bob and weaving against a taller fighter. And the way Frazier used to do it and the way Monty did it in that fight, they used to use it. The way Frazier used to use it when he fought Ali is Frazier would do two different things off it. He would do a bunch of different things off of, actually several things he would do off of it. When he would bob, Frazier would always be bobbing this way and this way is what he would do. He liked to bob this way a lot because he was trying to set up his hook. And the way he would do it, when he would bob this way, Ali would throw the right hand or the hook. So when Ali would throw the right hand, he would duck even lower and he'd come up over the top of Ali's right hand. Or if he would duck this way and Ali would throw the left hook, he would roll a little bit with it and come right back with a hook. So he would go down, Ali would throw a hook, and he would either let it duck underneath him and then come back with his own hook, or when he would throw the hook, he would duck under and come on the inside of it and throw it. So he had a lot of different ways that he would throw that hook off of different punches that Ali would try to counter him. The other thing he would do, sometimes he would even be here, and if Ali threw the hook, he'd bob underneath this way and come with a right hand. Or he would bob, when he would bob the angle he would bob this way. He'd bob this way, he'd bob this way, he'd bob this way. When he would bob this way, a guy would throw the right hand, and he would roll with it a little bit and come back with a right hand. So he'd roll with it, he'd bob, and then he'd roll with it and come back with a right hand. Or if the right hand would come again, he'd bob underneath it and throw his left hook. So he did a number of things, and Monty would do the same thing in that Eric Aiken fight. If you watch, he was doing the same thing. He was bobbing and weaving just like Frazier, doing a lot of different things off of that movement. And it was just very effective in his fight. And like I said, Frazier made it very effective against Ali, gave Ali a lot of trouble. And throughout his career, he used that. I mean, that was his signature move against a taller fighter, and just period, really, because he was always the shorter fighter. So he used it. That was his style.
Some blood from the mouth of Eric Aiken as Mezzaclay just continues to work on the inside, Roy.
He don't stop. He's non-stop action. He's left and right with his head. The most beautiful thing about it. And once he starts punching, he doesn't stop.
He's kind of got that Frazier-esque motion.
Except he has the right hand with it. He's not just one-dimensional. He has a hook and a right hand.
And that's two great tactics for a smaller fighter to use against a taller fighter.